Hello and welcome to the Weather Hazard Briefing presented by National Weather Service Pocatello for Saturday, last day of the year, December 31st. Here's what you'll see in this presentation. First of all, we are looking for rain and snow today through Sunday evening. We have winter headlines in effect through late morning tomorrow. We'll take a look at a map of those. But in summary, for the next 24 hours, look for as much as 4 inches of snow in the Snake River Plain and eastern Magic Valley. If you look at today and tonight period, it'll be heavier in the south compared to the north, which is unusual for us because the low is actually moving through Utah. It'll mix with rain at the lower elevations during the day, and that means the heavier snow mostly comes during the evening and late night hours. It will be all snow above 6,200 feet elevation this morning. The snow level will actually lower during the day. Also, a little bit counterintuitive. We are looking for some areas that will actually see snow all day that are at the lower elevations. The Arco Desert would be one exception, up in the Mud Lake and Territon areas, and then light snowfall in the central Idaho mountains. They will be, comparatively unaffected when you look at what's happening in the highlands to our south along the Utah border and the highlands to the east along the Wyoming border. We will see accumulating snowfall to continue on Sunday into at least Sunday evening, and we'll take a look at the evolution of that as well. In the I-86 and I-15 corridor in the heavily populated areas, we are looking for 1/2 to 2.5 inches in addition to what happens today and tonight, and then 2 to 6 inches in the mountains along the Wyoming and Utah borders. So it will continue on Sunday. All right, so here is a weather satellite image. You can see the abundant cloudiness over southern Utah, and here's the back edge of the storm. This is where the low is centered, and this will actually push through, move up a little bit this way, then dip down into Utah and create havoc for us, again, mostly in our southern areas. So this is what we're looking at. Where you see it highlighted in orange is where we have, for the most part, some of them are borderline winter weather advisories. And in the darker orange, that would be where our winter storm warnings are, for the most part. And again, we'll take a look at that for the day. And then elsewhere, we are looking for rain and snow during the day, then light snow at night for the central Idaho mountains. The light snow, as I said, continues into Sunday with light to moderate snow in the southeast highlands. Then we get a break for for all of Monday and most of Tuesday, and then a slight chance of snow for, you can see the southern edge, once again, the South Hills, the southeast highlands, and then the eastern highlands. And then the next storm coming in on Wednesday starts out with just a chance of snow in places like the South Hills and then the Wood River and Sawtooth area, so sort of our western area. And then in the eastern area, it's just a slight chance for, again, this is all Wednesday night, so don't look for anything during the day on Wednesday. All right, so 4 through 11 a.m. Sunday currently, I would expect that if my forecast holds up, that this might be extended once again through Sunday afternoon, maybe into Sunday evening. But you can see where the winter weather advisories are. So it's in there for Lemhi County, mostly again in the mountains up there, and then in the highlands here in the eastern part. And then as you get into the southeast highlands, it's more winter storm warning with heavier amounts, with the exception of the low elevations here. And then once again, winter storm warning in the higher elevations of the Albion Mountains, for instance. All right, so here's a weather depiction of what is doing this. So here is the low that is moving right through at the surface. Basically a huge area of low pressure in the upper levels, as you can see, over Idaho, Nevada, northern Utah, and into Wyoming. And this is generating mostly snow. And you can see where it's saying heavy snow possible all along mostly our southern borders. All right, so let's see how this evolves during the day. So this is 11 a.m., probably our warmest part of the day. Winds will be out of the south, and they're actually already gusty, upwards of 20 miles an hour, gusting to around 30. But it's mostly rain in the lower elevations where those are occurring, with the exception of, obviously up in the extreme high elevations, winds are already pretty breezy to windy, and it will cause lots of wind loading there for avalanche concerns, along with the snow above, again, 6,000 feet or 6,200 feet should be an all snow event. And so you can see at those higher elevations, a lot of it barely half an inch here in the Central Idaho Mountains. Again, the focus is here along the southern border. And you can see especially here in the Bear River Range. Then for the afternoon, it starts to get a little bit colder. We'll start to see snow possibilities here in the Snake River Plain. And then even more during the evening hours tonight. So 2 inches prior to 11 p.m. So this would be before most New Year's Eve celebrations. You can see it getting even heavier down here, again in the southeast Highlands area. And into the late night hours, this would be 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. We are looking at, again, some lighter snowfalls as it starts to taper off a little bit here Sunday morning. The wind gusts here this afternoon, when it's still kind of rain, you can see the southwest winds, and they're still not as gusty as in the morning, but still gusting into the 20s. And then at 11 p.m. you can see the wind shift. So instead of being out of the southwest, it will shift to the north and northeast in some places, and northwest. Considerably lighter, though. You can see it's struggling to get above 10 miles an hour. Still some areas here in green where it could possibly drift snow. And then even later on during the night, the winds actually increase. Again, not something you normally see. This would not only drift snow, but blow some snow around and reduce visibility. And then Saturday temperatures. Again, most of these probably occurring in the late morning hours or during the morning. You can see above freezing. That's when we'll be getting the rain. And then it will start to cool down, especially by mid-afternoon. And then overnight lows tonight, still kind of mild. We still have a lot of cloud cover, sort of breezy, and the breezier you are at night, the temperatures tend to be a little bit warmer than they would be if we had totally calm air. All right, let's move on to Sunday, the first day of the new year. You can see the low pressure is hanging on, but it is to the southeast of us, and that's why the winds overnight change to out of the north and northwest eventually here on Sunday as it sort of solidifies. You can still see some moderate to heavy snow in the southern areas and in our southeast highlands. And here you see it at from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Sunday that the snow does continue. So around an inch of snow still going on in Pocatello, Blackfoot, Idaho Falls, and Burley. And you can see much less, about half an inch or less for Rexburg and Island Park areas. So again, unusual. That's not what we normally think. Usually Island Park is a snow magnet, but not with this event. And then in the afternoon, we are not looking for temperatures to get above freezing, so light snow will continue. And then by 11 p.m. you can see how it's tapering off here, barely a couple inches, even in places like the Bear River Range. All right, so winds during all of this. Monday morning, still kind of breezy. You can see the, again, northwest and north winds mostly for Snake River Plain. Some areas where it could be blowing and drifting. You can see it actually increases during the afternoon, and these are the gusts to 24, 25. Again, that could blow and drift snow and reduce visibility and wreak havoc with trying to keep roads open. Here are the Sunday highs. You can see everywhere until you get to Twin Falls, it's going to stay below freezing. So don't look for the snow to melt at all. It's going to stay around. It's going to get blown around for the most part. Then Monday or Sunday night lows, you can see we start to lose cloud cover, especially over the Central Idaho Mountains, and look at how cold it's going to get. We're looking for some below zero temperatures in Stanley Basin, a lot of single digits in a lot of the alpine basins in the Central Idaho Mountains, and even in the northeast highlands, where you can see it stays fairly mild actually for places in the southeast highlands like Soda Springs, Montpelier, and Malad City. All right, then here is Monday. You can see the low has moved off. We're basically getting a break. Again, it's sort of threatening a little bit of light snow in the very southeast corner of our forecast area, but really that's why we have sort of like a slight chance going then. You can see this is the chances of snow for Monday during the day. It's only a 40% chance, even in a place like Montpelier. Most places it's slight chance. And then here at 5 during the overnight on Monday night, basically it's all below 10%. Here's the Monday highs. You can see it'll struggle. It'll continue to be rather chilly for afternoon highs. And then overnight lows once again, colder finally in the southeast and eastern highlands, and continue to be cold in the Central Idaho Mountains. And then highs, again, a struggle. They will continue to be rather below normal even for this time of year. Here's the Tuesday night lows. You can see it's starting to recover a little bit, maybe up a couple degrees, but not by much. And then here you can see on Tuesday, just the slightest chance of some precipitation in our northeast corner. It's not very much at all. And then Tuesday night to even less. This would basically, anything below 12% would be considered a no precipitation forecast. That's all I have. If you have any further questions, you can always contact our office at this telephone number here, or check out the weather yourself at weather.gov/Pocatello. Thanks for watching.